Hi guys, welcome to this application. Today we're having a conversation around whether graduate school is right for you. So in case you don't know me or are new here, my name is Kutemwa Masafwa, originally from Zambia. I just graduated this year with my Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from Xavier University of Louisiana in New Orleans, and I just started my PhD this fall in chemistry at Yale University. So this is like a very new transition for me, of course, and the decision that is very fresh because I just had to make it. And so when someone asked me this question recently, I was like, you know what, I think it's worth making a video about. So I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is, what is graduate school? Like honestly, what is it meant for? And I think that is the core of whether it is right for you or not. So the biggest thing about graduate school, and this is very much my perspective is heavily chemistry because of chemistry. But the biggest thing that graduate school is meant for is for you to go deeper into a specific field, right? So I did my Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, which was very general. I had to take so many types of chemistry because I'm just getting sort of introduced to the field of chemistry. But then if I want to kind of learn, get more in depth or specialize in a specific type of chemistry, then I would consider grad school. So I think the biggest thing is there has to be some interest in getting to the advanced level of something, some field. And I also want to share that I know many people who didn't necessarily choose the same graduate degree that they did in undergrad. So I know someone who did a biology degree but then realized, I think I'm more into business and accounting, so did a master's in business. I know someone who did a chemistry undergrad but then went to do chemical engineering for their PhD. So then it's not really restricted based on which country and stuff. I think the US is way more flexible when it comes to that, as long as you can prove that you have passion and you have a plan, of course. But yes, the biggest thing is that you have to be interested in getting into the advanced level, because that's what you're going to be doing, especially for a PhD. You're basically dedicating 5 years of your life to studying this topic or this, getting more in depth into this field. So I think that would be very difficult if you are not interested in the field. And the next thing that it does is it also elevates your career. So I think career is honestly one of the best reasons to do a PhD. That's why I'm doing a PhD. Of course, I love research and I love, all these different aspects of doing the PhD. So it's not like a by the way, but I also know that it's very relevant to the career that I want to go into. So the biggest thing, and this is again very chemistry because that's my, that's my field. The biggest thing that I learned throughout my undergrad is that there's not much of a difference between a master's and a degree. So a master's is obviously very short, and it's not as specialized as a PhD. So a master's is basically more learning, and there are some that are thesis based, so you might also do some research. So of course you would be trusted more with a high level position in in the job market, as opposed to someone with a degree. And there are some jobs that need you to have a master's for you to get it. But for a PhD, that takes you many steps forward, because then you have worked independently on some project. So you can be trusted to play more of a managerial, supervisor, senior-ish role. And I've seen this from many friends who did a PhD and then went into industry, because I think PhD obviously is required for academia. If you want to be a professor or conduct your own research, it's obvious PhD. So I am into academia, so yes. But even outside of that, like I said, I have friends who were able to, because of their PhD, go straight into a senior role in certain companies, as opposed to someone who has a degree where they can get to those positions eventually, but it's after years and years of proving and advancing and stuff like that. So essentially it can give you a leg forward. So if it's something that is very relevant to your career, if you need it and or you want to get to that, you are more interested in being a senior technician or things like that, then of course doing a PhD is worth it. Some things to keep in mind is, like I said, this is really an investment of time. It's not just something you can just wake up and dream of and be oh, you know what, I should do a PhD. It's it's really a huge investment. So the first thing you're investing is time, of course. You might also have to invest money. So a lot of graduate degrees are not paid. While I would say most schools in the US do are fully covered and they'll even pay for your insurance and stuff like that, but it's not 100% guaranteed. So imagine you're not even interested, then you're spending all this money when you could just get a job, and so I think keeping those things in mind is really important. Another thing that I really want to advocate for is to do a PhD early. I think especially in African countries, it's more seen as, first work and then do all these things and then after you have your children and they're old enough, and then go back to school and do a PhD. But the biggest thing is you are not restricted at all. In fact, I think this is like, I mean, I'm saying this because I'm in the age range where I'm not 30 yet. So yes, it's like, you know, if you have the opportunity and you have the interest, I think it's worth doing it now. Because there are people who know that they want to do it, but then they're like prolonging it and saying, oh, first let me and then let me. But I think it's better to do it now, as opposed, I mean, if you can, and if you know, if your plan for your life allows you to do that, I think it's best to do it young while you still have the freedom and you still have all these things. And then, like I said, you can start your career early and already start it with a leg up, depending on what career that you're going into. So I think those are the biggest things, is to make sure that you are interested and it has some relevance to your career. I think having a combination of those two things is like the perfect thing, but it's not a by the way. It's not something that you do because you're not ready for the job market yet, but you just want something that's going to hold you. No, it's not even preparing you anymore. You know, it's school. You're going to be a student, right? And then yeah, I think another reason that I've heard some people is, oh, I just want the paper. But it's like I said, this is really a huge commitment and it's really worth being interested in. Also, it's hard. I mean, this is my first semester. The first semester is a lot, especially in the US for most schools, because then you have to teach, do research, and then you have to also have to take classes. So then you're doing all these three big things at the same time, and it's a lot. Like, I've heard of many people who quit in their first year and or their second year because then they were not really interested. You know, when something is hard but then you really want to do it, you keep going. And so I don't recommend doing it just because of the paper, just because of the name of the what, and because everyone else is doing it. It's a huge commitment. It will be hard. It will test you in many ways. But if you are interested in it, by the end of it, you will be so much better than when you started. And I'm looking forward to that time because it's hard right now. But yes, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave comments. I very much check the comments to see for suggestions of videos to make next. But yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to share this video with those who are considering grad school.